First and foremost, my dear respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, we welcome you to this beautiful gathering. And again, we remind you, yes, this is the 25th year again. Not again in meaning in this another meeting that we mentioned last time. So congratulations for that. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Inna alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. All praise due to Allah, and may the peace and blessing be on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I'm going to speak to you today about Mus'ab ibn Umair. He was a Sahabi, and a beautiful story it is. And we need to reflect on some of these stories about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which he told us about, the things that happened in his time. First and foremost, I would like to mention that we are living in this society, in this side of the world, where we have many privileges. We have many privileges. It just passes us by. We look at it and think that, we can't live without it. It's a norm, where if you want to put on the light, you just put the switch on. Electricity, very simple, very easy. Or you want to go and drink water, you just open the tap and you drink water. Simple. Well, unfortunately, some of the people in the other side of the world are not able to do that. They are not able to drink easily as we drink, when we can just go and open the tap and fill up the cup. They have to go and fetch water. They have to bring it in a bucket. They have to travel a certain distance. We have many privileges. We can get into the car nice and warm, secure in our car while it rains, or there's a lot of heat outside the car. We can put the air conditioner on. Many privileges.
How much of that conversation will suddenly change?
Alhamdulillah. But others are not able. They got to get on their horses or their camels. And the heat and the rain is always on them. Mus'ab ibn Umair radiyallahu anhu was a wealthy Sahabi. He was only 20 years of age. 20 years of age. He grew up not knowing anything. He was so wealthy. Some of you might have heard his story, but it's a beautiful story. And I like to tell you about this story in order that we reflect on what we have and say alhamdulillah for what we have. Many people don't have these privileges, unfortunately. Mus'ab ibn Umair, his mother, I think her name was Khannas bint Malik, was a wealthy woman, rich woman. They used to put her in meetings when they used to have in Quraysh, Bani Quraysh. And the people loved Mus'ab. They loved him so much. He used to have his clothing tailored nicely to his body. I mean, these days we buy name brands. Yeah, we buy name brands. Some of us can't afford it. Some of us can. Sometimes we go to the op shop or whatever, we buy something which is a couple of dollars. Alhamdulillah. Some, no, we need to buy brand name in order to what? To look good in front of the people. The Sahaba were successful Why? Because they sacrificed. They sacrificed for the hereafter. Listen to this beautiful story of Mus'ab radiyallahu anhu. Wealthy. He used to have clothes that used to hit the ground and walk. He used to walk with his clothing hitting the ground. If it was one of us these days, would say, "My dear brother, lift it up, it might get dirty." He didn't care. He'll just go and buy another one. He didn't care. That's how wealthy he was. He was also very handsome. He was very handsome. In fact, in the history where it's written down that the women used to line up where he used to always travel in that same way just to stare at him, just to look at him. His musk or perfume that he used to apply, they used to smell it from blocks away. Very wealthy, very handsome, best perfume. He didn't care. That's how he was brought up. He was brought up in that manner. He doesn't know anything else. He doesn't do anything else. Some of us are spoiled. The father buys his son a Mercedes. Who cares? He goes and smashes it. His father gets him another. These people have not done any work in their life. Mus'ab, it didn't get to him, this type of thing. He used to love dressing up. He used to love smelling nice and looking good, but he didn't let it get to him. He didn't let the wealth get to him. So one day, they were having a meeting. Bani Quraysh were having a meeting. And they heard that the Muslims were making some changes. A lot of the Muslims have been transforming into better human beings. And a lot of old and young have been flocking to the Prophet ﷺ. So the Bani Quraysh sat there. They started to discuss this. So Mus'ab ibn Umair wanted to know what is going on. He wanted to see, he wanted to hear. Why are these people changing all of a sudden? What is happening with them? Why are they becoming better? So he decided, right there and then, he wants to go and see and sit down and listen to the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him. So he goes, after he had the meeting, and softly knocks on the door of Al-Akram ibn Al-Akram. Al-Akram ibn Al-Akram, his door. They were meeting there with the Sahaba. So the Sahaba opened the door and they were delighted and happy. One of the most wealthiest person, the youngest, 20 years of age, has come to their door. So they let him in. They were so happy. The Prophet ﷺ saw him. He was so happy. He was joyful. So he came and sat down. And the Prophet ﷺ did not cut his story. He just kept talking about hell and heaven and what is in Jannah and this and that. He did not cut that, his talk, until the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, finished. Mus'ab got up and it touched his heart. And he says, "This is the truth. This is the truth." And he said he knew that his people worshipping idols and statues and sticks was wrong. Killing each other was wrong. So what happened? He declared his Islam right there and then in front of the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him. He said, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh." But he had a dilemma, he had a problem, he had a situation. He had a situation. His mother was one of the wealthiest women. And he had a problem. The phones are all going off now.
I don't know what's going on.
What's going on? All at the same time. Confusing me, stopping me from thinking. Anyway, khair inshallah. I'll see if mine is on. Alhamdulillah, it's not. Anyway, going back to my topic, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam.
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't do it again.
Afwan.
Just like Allah.
No, you just ask this guy.
That's okay. My dear brothers, going back to my story. He had a problem. He couldn't tell his mother. You can fight anyone else, but you cannot fight your mother. What's he going to do? She was very powerful in Bani Quraysh. She was very powerful. So he discussed this with the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him. He discussed it and he wanted a hal, a way out. So the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said to him, keep it down now, keep it hidden. You know, the first thing that when you declare your Islam and it's a joyful thing and you feel great about it, that the first thing you want to do is go and tell everyone about it, isn't it? You don't care. Iman has entered your heart. No one knows until he feels what we feel. That the Iman has entered our heart. We want to tell everybody. Alhamdulillah. I don't care what happens after that. But he couldn't. He had to keep it silent. She was very powerful. So he kept it hidden. And every day he would sneak out to Al-Aqram ibn Al-Aqram. He would sneaking all the time, going and learning the Quran and the Hadith. Until one kafir, one disbeliever saw him. So he started to tell the people until it reached his mother. So they made a shura and called Mus'ab. Oh Mus'ab, come. Come, oh Mus'ab. They started to question him. And his mother was sitting next to him. She had a spear. She said she wanted to spear him. She wanted to hit him. But she couldn't because she loved him so much. She wanted to hit him and spear him, but she couldn't. And they were telling him, did you become Muslim? Did you declare your Islam? You are the follower of Muhammad? Then he said, yes, I have declared my Islam. I have accepted Islam. Alhamdulillah. And they got so angry. They didn't know what to do. So his mother grabbed him. She said to the guards, grab him, tie him up. And she left him there for 2 days with a guard on top of him. A guard watching him. So after a while, after a couple of days, he heard that the Muslims are migrating to Medina, Al-Madinah. He heard that they were migrating. So he waited until the guard had slept, took his hands off where they tied him up, and ran away with the Muslims. He ran away with them. He migrated with them. Khalas, Al-Iman has entered his heart. You cannot change him anymore. Alhamdulillah. He stayed there for a couple of years. And then after a while, a lie has come out. A lie. That the Meccans are, they are accepting the Muslims to come back. They are becoming friendly with them. They want them to come back. They are okay with them now. So he decided to come back. Who? Mus'ab. Radiallahu anhu. So he came back and he found that it was a lie. So he saw his mother again. And his mother told him, oh Mus'ab, my son, come back to your old ways. Come back to your forefathers. He says, Wallahi, I will not come back. She said to him, she got angry and she said to him, then if that is the case, then all that clothes, all that wealth that you have been given is going to come to a stop. I'm going to take that all away from you. He looked at her like this and he said, do what you like. I will not abandon this religion of mine and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. She got angry. She said, after that, then I will tie you up. I will tie you up and put a guard there. He said, Wallahi, if you do that, oh mother, Wallahi, that guard that you will put guard on me, you will pray janazah on him tomorrow. You will pray janazah on him. So she took 3 steps back. She looked. He said, mother, I'm not hurting you. You are not hurting me. So let's come to a negotiation. Leave me to be what I am. Leave me to be what I am. Then she said, okay, I will leave you. So she left him. When he was going out, his uncle saw him. He said, that clothing that you are wearing, those beautiful tailored clothing, that the tailors, how it's been tailored to your body. He said, this does not belong to you. It's for your dad, for your father. Take it off. Beautiful. You know, when you have so much wealth, you get somebody to make the shape of your body, the clothing will take the shape of your body. Even his own shoes, they used to get it from Yemen. That's how much wealth he had. He said he took it off. He was naked. He went home naked. He started to put his hands on his private parts and went to the house of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam naked, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed him. He gave him something to wear. Now listen to this. Mus'ab ibn Umair learned the Quran and the revelation that had descended on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had the Prophet, the best teacher, teaching him hifz of the Quran, the tafsir. He learned so much. He was the best in his age group. The best. So when they wanted to migrate back to Al-Mina, they sent a message to the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him. And they said that we want an ambassador, someone to teach us how to become good, how to, to give us da'wah, how to rule in Sharia and so forth. The first ambassador to the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, was Mus'ab ibn Umair, the best ambassador. He sent him there, and he started to teach the people, and started to tell the people about Islam. And the people are sitting there watching and listening. Then a man of the clan came. He had a spear. He said, hey, young boy, if you don't stop preaching, I will spear you. I will kill you. Imagine one of us, someone come and tell us this. What would you do? You'll take him outside, start belting into him. Or he'll start belting into you. Whatever. Imagine. What did Mus'ab do? He had beautiful character. He said to him, listen, oh uncle. He said, let me speak. If you like my speech, then fair enough, that's great. If you do not like it, then I will stop giving da'wah to your people. So he sat down. He said, okay, I agree. So Mus'ab gave da'wah. He gave da'wah and he gave da'wah until he finished. He said, this is the truth. There's nothing but what you said is truth. So he declared his Islam. He had a great teacher. Beautiful character. When a person comes to you by force, you will fight him by force. It's automatic. No. Look at the wisdom. We do it with hikmah. This is how we have to do it. Otherwise, no one will accept anything from you if you fight them the way they fight you or talk the way they talk to you. Like the person who came and he was kana yubil fil masjid. He used to urine in the masjid. What did the Sahaba do? They wanted to take their swords out. Prophet ﷺ said, Sabran Jamila, let him finish. Let him finish. After he finished, he approached him and started talking to me in a nice way, in a nice manner, in a good character, in a good form, until the other person, he says, if it was another way, I would have fought you. But because you talk to me this way, in a beautiful manner, I declare my Islam. It's, we say it's sha'ra. It is a hair span. The person will go this side or that side. Going back to my story, when that person declared his Islam, the one with the spear, he says, I have another leader of another clan. I will call him. So he called him. He also spoke, Mus'ab spoke and gave him da'wah. And then he said, I want to declare my Islam as well. He said, first you got to go and do khusl. So he went down khusl and became Muslim. And his whole clan became Muslim. And another big chunk declared their Islam. Alhamdulillah. This is Islam. So Mus'ab, he was once, the Prophet ﷺ was sitting giving da'wah in Mina. And Mus'ab came and he sat down. People looked at him. They looked at Mus'ab. Where was Mus'ab before? Beautiful clothing, smelling beautiful, looking great. He was a very handsome man. They looked at him and they knew him from Mecca. They looked at him and they put their head down and started to cry. Why? He was wearing a blanket, ripped blanket. A ripped blanket. Where was he? And where is he now? He sacrificed all that for his hereafter. He sacrificed everything. لا عيش إلا عيشة الآخرة. There is no life except the life to come. He sacrificed everything. I'm not saying for you to leave everything. Apply the La ilaha illallah in your life. I know it's difficult in this life. I know our times are different. We have to try to transform as much as we can the way of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At one stage, when at the time of the Battle of Uhud, they had captives. The Muslims had captives. And Mus'ab's brother was one of the captives. Listen to this very carefully. Al-Muslim akhul Muslim. The Muslim is the brother of the other. Wa mir'atul Muslim. And he is the mirror of the other. Mus'ab's brother was a captive. So a guard was guarding them. So Mus'ab ibn Umair came to the guard and he said, "Oh brother, tie this one up. For his mother is wealthy and you'll get a great ransom from him. Tie this one up. His mother is wealthy and you will get a great ransom." Then his brother looked at him. The one that's been tied down. He says, "Are you speaking to me, brother?" He said, "You are not my brother. He is my brother." Did you understand that? He said, "You are not my brother. He is my brother." As Nuh alayhi salam, when he was in the Safina, and his son said, "I will go to the highest point. Nothing will touch me." He said, "Yeah, oh son, this day no one will be safe. Come." And he reached out to his hand. He says, "No." A wave came and took him. So Nuh alayhi salam asked Allah, "Ya Rabbi," he said, "You will not destroy anyone of my family." He says, "He is not amongst your family." Al-Muslim akhul Muslim. The one who prays, who has got tawheed, who believes in Allah. Al-Muslim akhul Muslim. In that manner, we are all brothers. And at the time of Battle of Uhud, we all know the mountain and how the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, told the archers, "Do not leave that mountain." Don't leave that mountain. Even if you see the crows and the eagles eating our bodies, don't leave it. Meaning after the battle is finished, the birds descend for the bodies and they start to eat from the bodies. Don't leave it. Don't leave the mountain. What did they do? They saw all the richness, all the what are they called? The booty. That's the word. They saw they're grabbing all the booty and they're grabbing all the this and that, and the Muslims were victorious. So they looked and they said, "Oh, we want part of that as well. We want some of this." So they left the mountain. The Prophet said, "Don't." The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, "Don't." So they ran down. They started grabbing this and grabbing that. So what did Khaled ibn al-Walid do when he was a disbeliever at that time? He went around the mountain and he went from behind them and started to butcher them. started to slaughter them. So Muhammad ﷺ and his companions, they flew away to the mountain. There was a fierce battle. Mus'ab here was holding a flag. He was holding a flag. The flag means power, that we're still in control. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. So what did they do? What did he do? He saw that the Prophet ﷺ, 60, 70 of them were attacking him. He said, as much as he said that the hat or his helmet was digging into his head, into his skin. So what did he do? He saw the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him. So he ran and he screamed out, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And he ran behind them to swerve the people away from the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him. When he swerved them, it worked. They swerved away from the Prophet. But at that moment, at this particular moment, he was trapped. He still had the flag. He knew at that moment he has to decide. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, he said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب until I forgot the surah, the ayah. He said, no one shall believe amongst you until I am the most beloved than your own selves. So he, at that split second, he had to decide. At that split second, they came and they started to butcher him. What did they do? They chopped his left arm. Is it hot here? Is it got on here? No. Anyway, they chopped his left arm and the flag dropped. Began to drop. When the flag began to drop, he dropped his sword and grabbed it with his right. Then he grabbed his sword and grabbed it with his right. And he said, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٍ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ. That Muhammad ﷺ is nothing but a prophet. Before him were prophets. That came before him, prophets. So they grabbed the sword again and chopped his other arm. So the flag started to lean. So he grabbed it with whatever he had. And then again he said, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٍ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ. That Muhammad is nothing but a prophet, and before him prophets came. He grabbed it with his own hands like this, whatever he had. Whatever he had. He did not drop it until 60, 70 of them swarmed him. And they butchered him. So the Prophet ﷺ came and the Sahaba came and they looked at him and they started to cry. There were so many cuts in his body. And the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said that nothing but Jannah for him. Nothing but Jannah for him. Nothing but Jannah. And this is how we have to be. Look how the izzah of Islam was. Ya akhwan, I'm not telling you, to leave everything, leave your work and only do worship. This is a reminder for me. Sometimes I fall short, but try to make up as much as you can, because we're all going to go and face Allah. And look at the difference between us and them. Switch, the light comes on, the switch goes off. In their times, what did they used to do? They used to put fire. Oil and candles, fire, electricity, water, privileges. We have many privileges. I haven't got time. I've got to go on the internet. Sheikh Google. I need this, I need that. We have to be, we have to be apparent. We have to be clear. Our times are different from their times. Listen to this one. A man, three people, 3 types of people. One of them, very poor man. He was a blind man. Another one, he did not have hair. And the other one, clothing. He wanted to be rich and so forth. So an angel came to him, but in the form of an old man. And he said to him, for the one who wanted clothing and so forth, and money and richness, he said to him, "Oh man, what would you like if you're able to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you?" He said, "I would love to become rich, have nice clothing, and have camels." So he made dua to Allah, "Oh Allah, give him camels and make him rich," and so forth. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him rich and gave him camels. He left him. He went to the second one. He came to the second one who was baldy. He said to him, "Oh old man," and he's in the form of an old man, "if you had the ability to ask Allah for something, what would you ask?" He said, "I would love to have hair and have sheep." So he made dua to Allah, "Oh Allah, give him sheep and give him hair." So he had hair after a while, and he had sheep, pregnant sheep. And the last one, he came to him and he said to him, "What would you like?" He said to him, "I would like to have my eyesight back and cows, many cows." So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him cows. He made dua and Allah gave him cows. He left him for a while. The same angel came back in another form of a man. And he said, he came to the person who wanted to become rich and who had camels. He says, what's it called? "Oh old man, I am very poor and I need money. I need to eat. I need to survive. Are you able to help me? Can you give me a small camel or something like that?" He said, "No, I can't give you anything. I can't give you anything. This is from my hard work. This is from my hard work. I earned this. I've done this. I've done that." So the old man made dua. He said to him, "I was that person that told Allah, who made dua for you, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you such and such. And now I ask Allah to take it all away from you." So he lost everything. The second one, he came, who had sheep. He's asked him also, "Oh old man, please give me something to eat. Oh sheep, or something, please. I am old, I can't bear to do anything, I can't afford, I can't do this." He said to him, No, I can't give you this. This is all mine. This is from my hard work. No, I cannot afford to give you this." He said, "I came to you before and I made a dua for you. And I make a dua against you now that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes this all away from you." So Allah took it all away from you. He came to the blind man. He said, "Oh blind man," who is not blind anymore. He said, "Oh man, old man, please, for the sake of Allah, give me a cow, give me something. I'm hungry, I'm this, I'm that." And he had a valley of cows. Valley of cows. He said to him, "See all these cows? All this valley?" He says, "Take whatever you want. Take everything and I will not ask you anything about it. Take whatever you like." So the old man that asked him for the cow, he said to him, "I am the angel that last time I made dua for you and Allah gave you all this. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you more and make you keep what you have." And this is how we have to be. We get tested all the time, but we don't know it. We don't know where the angels are, who they are. Could be an old lady, could be a young boy. But there are tests happening all the time around us. We are being tested. And this is how we need to be. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم يا أيها المستغفرين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. جزاك الله